Alright, so I'm eventually going to make a build thread or maybe post all these videos up on YouTube or something of this build. So, wow, it's really loud. Here's my build. Here's my my S14. It's okay. It's not terrible. It's not great, but we got a long way to go. I've done some work recently. I had the entire front end apart. New bushings, new LCA bushings here. These are energy suspension bushings in the front. Got some Moog ball joints at the end there. Got new end links with also with poly bushings on them. One thing I've messed up is right here. You can see the this stud, if it focuses. The stud for my sway bar mount is broken. So my sway bar mount is just kind of hanging here. So that sucks. When I first took apart the front end, I actually had an S14 lower control arm on the front. So I have a new LCA. This is, well, okay, it's an old new LCA to me. But it turns out that, of course, the alignment was set up to have this S13 arm. You can see the front wheel here is straight, and on this side it's quite obviously not straight. So obviously I'm going to need some alignment done. The tie rod is definitely set up for a completely different lower control arm. In fact, the control arm is about a centimeter longer. Well, this one is. So the whole thing, it moves the entire spindle outward a centimeter basically, and totally fucks everything up. I don't know about my ball joint. If the ball joint was an S13 ball joint, I don't know, man. It's really bad. I hope it was an S14 ball joint so that the taper is not fucked up in the upright, but I don't know. The other thing I did is some engine mounts right there. You can see a poly mount with the, it's got the metal shield on this side, and there's the other one. Big green poly mount, as well as there's a transmission mount right there. Luckily, while doing that, I messed up one of the cross member bolts. I kind of ripped the threads out of the body, cross threading the bolt. So unfortunately, that's also kind of jury rigged. It's only held in by 3 of the 4 cross member bolts. But yeah, that's the build right now. That's all for now. Hey, so I'm working on the car again today. I'm tearing apart the rear suspension. So hopefully this is going to be a good location. I'm kind of under the tree where I'm going to be working, which could be good or bad. It's really annoying, to be honest, but I don't know, a little bit of shade I guess is kind of cool. But mostly I have to be out of the way of this side of the driveway so my roommate can park. The goal today, and I have no idea if this is going to happen, but it's about noon right now, so I have a lot of hours of daylight, assuming that I want to work all of that, but the goal today is to get the subframe out of the car, and that's going to include, I'm not going to take the whole thing out together. A lot of the time people will, essentially you'll take your tires off, undo your brake lines, undo the shocks, and I don't know, a few other things. I guess you have to get your exhaust out of the way, stuff like that, and basically take the whole thing out as one piece. But my goal is to I'm not just doing the subframe bushings, I'm doing all of the bushings in the multi-link, so it's going to be a lot of stuff, which means I'm going to take them out individually, and then the subframe will just have the diff installed, I guess, when I take it out. Just stopping for a break here, having some water and food. Here's where we sit on the passenger side. This is the wheel well, so I should have probably hung that brake a little better. Anyway, here's the arms. These are the upper arms here, and then this one's the lateral link from the back. This is the hub, lower control arm, and hub, lower control arm, and the axle, of course, still attached. I'm gonna go do the other side the same way as this, I guess. Alright, I've got both hubs and uprights, axles, and everything out of the car. So that's all my arms, the brakes, everything out of the car. Still got a whole bunch of tools and crap on the ground, but there's the passenger side, driver's side. So the next thing pretty much is the subframe to come out, and I'm not looking forward to that at this point. Oh, I'm in a tree. this has been a lot of work. The bad thing really right now is this CV boot. Got a nice big rip in it. So that's gonna have to be replaced. And it looks like my ball joint here is pretty close to being done, so I think I'm gonna have to do ball joints as well. So it seems like I'm gonna have to take these axles out of these uprights, and I have no idea how I'm gonna do that. And these nuts, these axle nuts are tight. These nuts are tight. These nuts are tight. I don't know, I think they're like 200 foot-pounds or something like that. I don't know exactly. It's not gonna be easy to remove that, so I'm not sure what I'm gonna do. But I guess that's tomorrow us problems. Oh boy.